Right, let us begin. Hello everyone, I'm Tony again. Appreciate you guys for being here. So today we're gonna do not a horror film, surprisingly, but because like I said, we're gonna be doing a couple different things: music, fashion, film, whatever, you know, Charlie XCX, right? So me and my sister went to go watch Scary Movie yesterday, and Scary Movie 6, for those of you who don't know, obviously everybody knows, and I'm going to give you guys my review of it. So, per usual, I pulled up the Wikipedia page, and this time we're going to see if this actually works. I'm still getting the hang of it, you know, still getting used to everything, trying to see how things go. Scary Movie 6, so came out yesterday, officially comes out today. So that means it's Friday, June 5th, so the movie's out. And so we walked in, you know, it was pretty good. You know, it was regular fucking film stuff, right? But the first thing they do, because obviously we order it, and they gave us this what's it called? This poster. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna get it framed, because I think it's cool. And if I do have a future generation later on, if the world doesn't go to shit, I'll probably give them that, you know, something that I have, because, you know, I got a bunch of stuff right here that it's kind of cool, you know. At least that's near and dear to my heart. But anyway, let's get back to it. So, colloquially known as Scary Movie 6. This film is directed by Michael Tides or Titties, I don't know. And it's written by Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans, so the Wayans brothers, Keenan Ivory Wayans, and then Craig Wayans and Rick Alvarez. It's the 6th installment in the Scary Movie film series, following Scary Movie 5, which was in 2013. And so it's been referred to as a spiritual sequel to the first two films. It stars Marlon, Sean, Anna Faris, and Regina Hall. The plot follows Cindy Campbell and her friends, Way Wilkins, and siblings Shorty and Brenda Meeks reunited when the same mass killer from the first film resurfaces. Okay, so going down, I guess, the whole like plot from what I remember, because obviously, you know, watching it the next day, you're not going to remember everything. You're just going to you remember the parts that kind of stick out to you or stuck out to you. What I will say is that a lot of the film played into nostalgia a lot, but they also know that they're doing that, so they make fun of that as well. And so I'm going based off of, because in the plot and in the premise right now, you don't really see it because obviously it came out today. That's not going to really be updated until probably like next week, maybe this weekend. So I'm just going to go strictly based off of the poster, because the poster is going to be right here. Like I said, I'm going to have it right here. Boom. Scary Movie 6. And there's, obviously, if you see the theatrical poster, you can see how they have different people and how they play a part in it and whatnot. So, a lot of what the film is based around, majority of what you're going to see is mostly Scream based. What I noticed is that they mostly went into with Scream 5 and Scream 6, because that's the newest ones, because I don't really count Scream 7. Scream 7 is kind of a dog shit movie. Obviously, I'm a Melissa Barrera fan, so shout out to her. I'm on your side. You got done dirty. I appreciate everything you do. What else? Okay, so that's the first one. And then I don't know if I don't think this is actually Anna Faris's daughter, the one who plays her daughter in the film, but they did a really good casting choice, and she looks exactly like her, and she kind of has like the same mannerisms that Cindy had in the first 4 films. Or Anna Faris has in the first 4 films. And so she is a little ditzy, but one thing that I did notice is that I wish they would have really made her push it a little bit, because the way that Cindy did it in the first 4 films, it was, or Anna Faris, sorry, I'm just call her Cindy, just make it easier. The way that Cindy did it in the first 4 films was very, like, she portrayed an airhead very well, and like people said, they're like, she portrays a dumbass very well, and I think that really like made her character her. The new girl, I'm trying to see who actually she is, because obviously she's not a new, Olivia Rose Keegan. So it's Cindy's older daughter, and that's Sarah Campbell. So she has like the same like kind of like maneuvers and like movements that Cindy had in the first 4 films. So she's very like ditzy, she's very like, blah blah. And then they kind of try to play it at the beginning of the film when they start introducing the Tuesday situation, which is the parody of Jenna Ortega's Wednesday. And she's very like, I will tell you, there's a lot of sex jokes in here, and it's very funny. There's a lot of coming jokes. There's a lot of jokes based around race, and a lot of what the political commentary is right nowadays, which I think is funny. But obviously, it raises the questions of like, well, not raises any questions, but it brings attention to that, because there was a part where it also talks about how a lot of like white people in the film, because it makes fun of white people and black people, it makes fun of everybody in there. I don't think that it crosses the line how they say it did, but that's probably just because I'm desensitized to a lot of stuff. But I think it was done pretty well. I will tell you, the movie is funny because it plays into a lot of the political stuff that we see nowadays. And so I think one of the main things that they tackle is how they're talking about how white people only care about stuff because it makes them feel good about themselves. And obviously you'll see what they're talking about once you watch the film. At the beginning, there's a cameo. I'm not going to say who it is because she's in there at the beginning, and it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of people who are in here. Who was it? But at the beginning, they kind of play into the tropes of like, somebody's always got like, they got their whole gang with them the whole time. Well, actually, if you look on the Wikipedia page, you're going to see who it is, but I'm not going to say it. But she's got a whole gang with her, and it plays into the Scary Movie 6 aspect of it. So it's got that whole yellow dress, like, city feel. And, what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh, they, the Wayans brothers obviously know that they make her say that her part in the beginning, and she's like, oh, I know who came to watch a Wayans brother film. So obviously she's saying the film is catering to a black audience. Obviously it's not saying that it's excluding everybody else, but she's just making a joke about that. The long legs part, it's a very short part. I wish they would have played more a little bit into it, but it is a good cameo from the character from Scary Movie 2, which is the butler. Is it Sherry O'Terry, I think? Let me see. I might be wrong. Let me see. Yeah, Sherry O'Terry. So she's in there. Obviously, she's got a small part, but still done pretty well. Like I said, they play a lot to the nostalgia factor. There's a part on the subway that is in the trailer, and that is kind of like doing an homage to the one from Scary Movie 2, with Brenda's part in Scary Movie 1. I think it's Scary Movie 1. Where she's like, Shakespeare in love, and then she's, she gets stabbed in the movie theater. And so they kind of play a little bit into that, into the next part. But majority of the film, also they do a lot with animation, which I thought was actually pretty cool, because they took into consideration how popular K-pop Demon Hunters was, and they used that for a small part into it. It kind of like gets thrown into it, but it's nice to see kind of like a little bit of a change from it once in a while. I will tell you, I think the film didn't go as hilarious as I wanted it to, because it's a funny film, I will tell you that. But I wanted it to be more offensive without being obvious. Because I think a lot of the jokes were done correctly, but it felt very like, this is what's gonna hit, and some of it was hit and some of it was miss, but it wasn't bad. I do like the end part where Cindy is playing Joan Wick. She's kind of like a John Wick character, and she's fighting everybody, and so they just keep it coming, and it's kind of like a survival for all, like a free for all, like just on Cindy. And then you kind of see because they parody sinners into it. But I just wish they would have pushed it a little bit further. But the movie was good. I don't know. It's just like a lot of the jokes seem like I wanted them to break the fourth wall a lot more. Like, there's one part where they mention how Brenda and Cindy used to do a lot of chaotic shit back then. And they had a little part where they kill somebody and then they put them in the grave, and then it's very like like it's obvious with like what the signage is and what the character played, so it kind of plays into that. They also talk to the audience a lot when it comes to how they're doing. So I really appreciated how they understood that they're talking to a new audience, but they're also saying like we're still the original cast. One thing that I wish they would have done, and this is probably just me, I'm not sure if anybody else feels this way, but the Keenan brothers were more in the film than Cindy and Brenda. And I get it, it's their film, but the whole cast, like the film is marketed as a Brenda and Cindy film. So I think that was like it's not a downfall, but I feel like they're not in it as much as I wanted them to be in it. And then there's a couple like little small references to other films. And then, like I said, it plays into the nostalgia factor. So a lot of what you see in the new film kind of plays into with like Scary Movie 1, and obviously it has the character, so they're allowed to do that. But it just feels like they're trying to catch up to it, and it didn't feel bland, but they knew what they were doing with like trying to bring the old audience back. The love interest, obviously, he's trying to be like Jack Quaid. His part was, I for some reason I feel like they should have made him, I don't know, his character was very like blah. Like I wish they would have done more with him. Doofy's in it. Scream is in it. Scream is funny. With Ghostface, I like how they still played into the same jokes that they did with I think it's Scary Movie 4, where they mentioned Pootie Tang, and I forgot what film it was, but they mentioned that, so it kind of was funny. They also mentioned you did Scream 3 and 4 without us. That's what the Wayans brothers were saying to Brenda and Cindy. The long legs part, I like how they did make that a political joke about how a white person can do the worst crime ever, but they'll still attack a black man. That was funny. So I don't know, I just wish they could have pushed it a little bit more. They had an ice joke in there, which I thought was pretty funny. And I wish they would have done a little bit more with the whole Ma situation, because obviously Brenda has the wig of Ma, and that's what she's been doing. But I don't know, I feel like they could have pushed that a little bit more, kind of like how they did in Scream 2, where they had the whole film based around the mansion, and then do like parts in it based around other films. It says it got negative reviews, but to me, I think it was a 7 out of 10. It was funny, but it wasn't ha hilarious. But in general, I still think it was a really good movie. It was funny, and I think it did its job for 2026. If they do end up making a Scary Movie 7, I want them to bring a little bit more of like clever writing that's still offensive, if that makes sense. Because everybody knows that with the whole transgender stuff going on and the attacks that the transgender community is dealing with, obviously they were going to make a joke about that. But I just feel like it wasn't as offensive as they marketed it as. And that's one thing that I was arguing with my friend Jalen about with Backrooms. Sometimes I feel like it's just marketing. I don't even think it's actually the film. So I feel like they kind of sold it a little bit better than the film was, but I feel like it's on the right track. I just wish they would have pushed it a little bit more. It's a short film, honestly, to me. Let's see, how long is it? Yeah, it's 96 minutes. I figured it was a short film. And then there's a surprise at the end, which I think is funny because, I guess nudity's involved. I thought one of the funniest parts though is when, Shorty is teaching Brad, which is like Brad Meek, so it's Brenda's son, and they play the twins from Scary Movie 5 and 6. And there's a part that I thought was so funny when he's over here explaining the blunt. You'll see it and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I thought was funny about, is how they push the limits with stuff like that. and it was disgusting, but it was hilarious because that part in the movie had everybody dying. I was dying laughing. My sister was laughing. And I kind of like, I know everything was like recent, but I feel like there was better films that they could have parodied too. So I just feel like it was very limited in the parody amount, and they could have just done like small little things. But I really enjoyed the film. But like I said, it wasn't hilarious, but it was funny. So my final rating is, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And we shall see where they go next. Oh, there's also a bunch of Easter eggs in it too, to a lot of the other works that the whole like cast is done to. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. Watch it, give me your opinion, comment, let me know if you disagree, if you agree. We're all friends here, we can talk about it. I'll probably argue with you in person, but you know. But alright, you guys, that's a little opinion that no one asked for that I'm going to give you anyway. So I hope you guys watch it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Support it, because obviously it gives people the opportunity to go back to movies. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, por favor, like, subscribe, share it, please. And then we shall see how things go. Thanks for being here.